Good evening. Once again, we return to the story of Caius.
Have you seen the selection at Stonewall Shields?
Stonewall is the best in the city when it comes to shields.
So I've heard.
Let's do our best with the introduction. This is the story of Caius, Spellsword, Dunmer, Eternal Champion, finest courier in Tamriel, most loyal servant of the Emperor, Nerevarine, Auditor of the great houses of Ardenfell. Currently, I'm working for the Thieves Guild, although I don't exactly remember what we were up to.
I give the ice staff to Methandriel. She says that we need to wait for the nobles and wizards to act. She wants me to watch Lex until he's ordered to leave the waterfront. I have to make sure I get close enough to him to overhear any conversations. When he does, I report back to, Methandriel.
Alright, it might be a little bit late. Also, my apologies. I've had some really hot food and burned my mouth. So I'm trying to cool it down with some drink, but it makes it a little hard to record. Not spicy, hot. Alright, I'm going to start by going to the waterfront, but I suspect it's a bit early for that.
Sirius Afranius, I am a guard for Bacano.
Who's a Bacano?
A bit eccentric, loves old things. He's practically got a museum upstairs, but he'd never let anybody else see it. Oh, no.
What about Felwyn Benarius?
I believe I heard a Benaris is in town. You should check out the Elven Gardens district. A Benaris wouldn't be seen anywhere else. Sir?
Never mind.
What is it, citizen?
I guess the autosave just covered that, but...
If you're not going to tell me where to find the Grey Fox, I'm not interested. The Grey Fox is hiding nearby. What do you know about it? If you're not going to tell me where to find the Grey Fox, I'm not interested.
I was hopeful I might be able to get a little bit more of an interaction with him.
The Grey Fox is hiding nearby. What do you know about it?
Nothing at all. like me to wait for the Archmage to wake up. Yeah, it's 4 in the morning.
The Grey Fox is hiding
I've
you for the
heard.
Grey Fox. What can
Hello
you tell
there.
me?
Marana Rian. I'm very fond of nice things. How fortunate that I can afford them.
Yeah, that's exactly how you want to be talking down here. Alright, tell me about Hieronymus Lex.
He's that Imperial Watch captain that's always chasing after the Grey Fox and the Thieves Guild. Chasing after shadows, if you ask me. The Thieves Guild probably doesn't exist, and it's a sure bet the Grey Fox doesn't either. Goodbye.
The Grey Fox is hiding nearby. No sign of it. Son, the mages sent a foul data to deliver a simple note when an honest footman would have done. All right, then. In order the Grey Fox is hiding nearby. I smell the dirty hand of the Grey Fox behind this.
Well, spying on Hieronymus Lex,
Had a good spying spot.
I saw Dremora deliver a note to him. Lex has begun moving his watchmen out of the waterfront. I think this is a signal for me to report back to Mithridel. Lex dropped that note. I wonder if I can find it.
Ah, you must be the Arcane University's newest addition. This humble battle mage bids you welcome. Ah, it's good to see you, citizen. Oh yes, I know who you are. You've become something of a legend in these parts.
For good deeds, right? What can you tell me about the Archmage?
That's Hannibal Traven. You'll find him in the Archmage's Tower in the center of the university. Now, for your sake, he'd better be expecting you.
And the Arcane University?
The Arcane University is the greatest repository of knowledge in all of Cyrodiil. The privilege of admission is a goal every mage strives for.
I don't know who Hieronymus Lex is.
Looking for Romulus, are you? Well, you'll find him in the lobby of the Archmage's Tower, in the center of the university.
Any rumors?
The Kvatch Oblivion Gate has been closed. Don't you understand what that means? We can beat the bastards! Farewell, citizen. You have my ear, citizen.
Hero of,
good citizen. How can I be of service?
the hero of Kvatch did not understand that we could beat the bastards. Understood. It is kind of neat to see the ship sway in the breeze like that.
Hieronymus Lex, your vendetta against the Grey Fox has cost the Arcane University dearly. You commandeered the guards patrolling our property. In their absence, someone stole a valuable artifact from the university. We demand that you return all guards to their posts immediately. If you do not do this, we'll be forced to bring the matter to the attention of your superior. Raminus Polis, the Arcane University.
Now we see little sounds in the background on my recording monitor, so I hope there's no
What is it,
distortions or anything.
I'm rather busy.
Sometimes you get a little fidgety while playing, so that might be it, but
Trust me.
Actually, sorry, there is one thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to adjust the mic stand. It shouldn't be too much. So I just tend to hunch the, over time the stand goes a little bit lower, and I tend to hunch rather than correct it, so this will hopefully keep me from stooping too much.
You have my ears.
I'm glad you're here. We have work to do.
Tell me more about the Grey Fox.
I didn't think much about him when I first joined the Thieves Guild. Lately, I've been hearing odd things, though. That gray cowl he wears was stolen from Nocturnal herself. Can you imagine having the nerve to steal from a Daedric lord?
I can, as a matter of fact. Okay. Alright, well, Lex is gone.
He's been ordered to evacuate the waterfront? Excellent! I have one last task for you. As a sign of good faith, the Thieves Guild needs to return Roromir's ice staff to the Arcane University. However, the wizards are not to be trusted. I'm sure they are watching for us to put it back where you got it. They would have no qualms about killing you once they had the ice staff back. Instead, I want you to put Roromir's ice staff into Ontus Vaynon's safe chest. He keeps one in his home. Ontus is a former university researcher.
Then you pay me.
Greedy bastard, aren't you? I like that in a thief. You'll have to see Skriva about that. I'm just running the scam. Shadow hide you.
I work as a guard at Umbacano Manor. My name is Ushija.
What do you know about Umbacano, then?
I am one of his guard dogs. No more, no less. He pays us well to guard his many treasures. This is enough for me.
It's honest work. Any rumors?
Captain Lex blames the Grey Fox for stealing the tax collection. He wants a bounty put on the Grey Fox. But the Legion commander has refused. Good day.
I planted the ice staff in the chest of Ontus' bedroom. I should go see Skriva and collect my reward.
Not before I satisfy my curiosity, of course. Alright, let's see if Delmar's got my staff yet. I don't know if it's exactly a day or if there's some leniency. Also, I should check my inventory. I can't remember if I have stuff that I want to drop off. Looks like that's a no. Really do like the views out here.
It's you, the hero of Kvatch. This is truly an honor.
No, it's no trouble really.
You have my...
Greetings, wizard.
Welcome to the Chironasium. Can I help you?
It's about my staff.
I'm working on it. It'll be done soon.
Any rumors?
Not only has necromancy been banned from practice in the Mages Guild, but the guild won't deal with anyone who openly uses it.
What about the guild itself?
If you're looking to create your own enchantments, you've come to the right place.
In the city?
Enchanting City. Real eyeful. Just walk and gawk. Stroll along the Greenway and around the palace.
And on to Svanen.
That name sounds familiar. Something to do with the Arcane University. Most wizards live somewhere in the Imperial City. Take care.
So there really isn't that much for me to do right now. Trying to remember Coral and Jadenhall. Coral was over here. Should also be on the eye for any Daedric shrines, although it's a little tricky to remember which ones I've visited and which ones I haven't. Cool. I think I can make a side trip to Coral.
How are you today?
Hail, good citizen.
So I may not exhaust everything in Coral, but I figure I can at least do a couple of tasks. Oh my. And then hopefully over that time the staff will be finished. And if I'm lucky, I'll find some Daedric shrines along the way.
Finally.
Well, that's inconvenient. But I suppose it has been a while since I've dealt with one of these, so... bound to happen. Alright, so this is a little more of a complicated one, but we should still be able to make it through. Normally there's a way around. Okay. These are always a pain. Yes, the bonus speed's paying off. Oh, this is the wrong way. Later, suckers.
Fighters Guild thing at Desolate Mine went wrong. They cleared out the goblins. They lost some people.
No.
So long.
I think I'm just gonna do a quick trip to, bookshop.
I bet you hear this all the time, but thanks for closing that Oblivion gate. We were all so worried.
That's all good. What can you tell me about Weatherly?
So, the brothers have once again reclaimed Weatherly, eh? Good for them.
Any other rumors?
Hey, You're the one they call the hero of Kvatch, aren't you? The one that closed the Oblivion Gate and saved the city?
What can you tell me about Coral, this city?
Did you hear about Renaud Germain's long-lost twin brother returning to Coral? Now, I hear there's a stranger in town asking about them. A dark elf from back east, they say. I wonder what he wants.
Alright, let's see if
Let's
there's any
do
books
business.
I want. I don't think I've read this one. And possibly not this one.
Another satisfied customer. Take care.
No, and there was a dancing fire. I don't recall if...
Welcome to... Looking for some reading material? You've come to the right place.
So why did I think there was something else? The Mystery of Talara. Alright.
Take care.
Now, I apologize for this. I actually need to step away from the keys. I'm feeling, at the very start, I actually felt really, like I have a pretty upset stomach. So I'm just gonna step away for a minute. Hopefully it's not too long. But it's I do these in one big run, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna need a minute away, but I'll try and make it quick. apologize. Still don't feel 100%, but I did get some extra water. Actually have some tea as well. Take a quick bathroom break. Emptied out the tea so I can get more tea, I guess. Hopefully there won't be too many more interruptions. But sorry about that. It's not great to feel bad at the start of a stream.
Rejoice through faith, your afflictions are banished. Your weight is true in the scales of Julianos.
That was mostly just because I could.
Heard any news from the other provinces?
I have heard things.
Well met.
Hear any rumors?
They train Blunt, Blade, Heavy Armor, and Block in one of the guild halls. He's at Anvil.
I don't know, you tell me.
Good day.
It's good to have a bit of good news in these dark times. What can I do for you, hero of Coral?
Hear anything?
Don't get too many folks passing through here these days. Goodbye.
Greetings, Orc.
They say that Oblivion gates have opened outside cities all across Tamriel. Gods preserve us.
By the gods!
Indeed.
Lots of dogs in this town. Lots of sheep, too. Of course, I prefer the taste of sheep.
How about that? Did you hear that Dharma came back safe and sound? You know, Sidneas' daughter, the Argonians.
What great news!
Excellent. Have you heard any word about the other provinces?
Nothing I'd like to talk about.
So long.
Take care. Greetings. I see you've been keeping yourself busy. This is good. I believe it's time for you to perform some duties for your guild.
Alright, let's talk about the duties.
We are a brotherhood, a family. What affects one of us affects us all. Fighting, drunkenness, dereliction of duty are not tolerated. I would like you to speak with Modrin Orion. He will assign you any duties that are currently pending. Good luck to you.
Elena Daunton has told me that as a member of the Fighters Guild, there are a number of duties I'm expected to perform. She would like me to speak with Mordrin Oren about
Just
these.
do your job.
What do you want? I suppose you've come looking for duties, huh?
What? You were so much friendlier a moment ago.
Duties for you. Fine. I'll speak slowly so you can keep up. I want you to contact Maglier.
Who is Maglier?
He's one of your Fighters Guild brothers, but he's defaulted on a contract. We can't allow that. Makes us all look bad.
What do you mean by defaulted?
He didn't finish out a contract in Skingrad. Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. He's raw like you. Go and find out what's wrong with him.
Maglier?
Yes, Maglier. Find him. See why he defaulted. I swear, I've scraped things off the bottom of my boots that were smarter than you.
How about a joke?
Tell me more. Don't just stand there. Move!
I think I need to go to Skingrad for Skriva anyway, right? No, but it's sort of on the way, and I am heading back to Anvil.
Glories and Laments. Glories and Laments among the Eyelid Ruins by Alexandre Hetrad. Having arrived at Godlesfront Priory, halfway on the Gold Road between Skingrad and the Imperial City, I resolved to make a side...
Wait, I think I already did this, didn't I?
Waters of Oblivion. 120 numbered ages in the void that fated folk had grown deep-schooled in evil. Then the bright gods resolved to punish those faithless spirits and shatter the unruly caitiffs, those huge unholy scathers, loathsome to the light. They repented exceedingly that they had gazed upon Oblivion and had seen there the first of Darkkin and welcomed them as brothers and sisters. The principalities of victory beheld how great was the wickedness of the wayward spirits and saw that they were bold in sin and full of wiles. They resolved then to chasten the tribes of Daedra and smite Darkkind with hammer and hand. But ever shall darkness contest the light, and great were the powers that breathed the void and laid waste upon one another. No oath might bind them, so deep were they in envy and perfidy. For once the portals are opened, who shall shut them upon the rising tide? Vernacus and Borlor by Tavi Dromio. Halgerd walked into the King's Ham that lordrous evening, his face clouded with sadness. While he ordered a mug of grief, his mates Garaz and Jalmera joined him with moderately sincere concern. "What's wrong with you, Halgerd?" asked Jalmera. "You're later than usual, and there's a certain air of tragedy you've dragged in with you. Have you lost money, or nearest and dearest?" "I haven't lost money," Halgerd grimaced. "But I've just received word from my nephew that my cousin Aliok has died. Perfectly natural, he says, just old age. Aliok was 10 years younger than me." "Oh, that's terrible. But it goes to show that it's important to savor all your life's possibilities, because you never know when your time is coming," said Garaz, who had been sitting at the same stool at the Smoky Corner Club for the last several hours. He was not one cursed with self-awareness. "Life's short, all right," agreed Jalmera, "but if you'll pardon a sentimental thought, few of us are aware of the influence we'll have after our deaths. Perhaps there's comfort there. For example, have I told you the story about Vernacus and Borlor?" "I don't believe so," said Halgerd. "Vernacus was a Daedra," said Jalmera, throwing a few dribbles of phlegm on the hearth to cast the proper mood. "And though our tale took place many, many years ago, it would be fair to say that Vernacus still is one, for what, after all, is time to an immortal Daedra?" "Actually," Garaz interrupted, "I understand the notion of immortality. I'm trying to offer our friend an inspirational tale in this hour of need," Jalmera growled. "I don't have all bloody night to tell it, if you don't mind." "You wouldn't have heard of Vernacus," said Jalmera, abandoning the theme of immortality for the time being. "For even at the height of his power and fame, he was considered feeble by the admittedly high standards of the day. Of course, this lack of respect infuriated him, and his reaction was typical of a lesser Daedra. He went on a murderous rampage. Soon word spread through all the villages in the Colovian West of the unholy terror. Whole families had been butchered, cattle destroyed, orchards and fields torched and cursed so nothing would ever grow there again. To make things worse for the villagers, Vernacus began getting visitations from an old rival of his from Oblivion. She was a Daedra seducer named Horavatha, and she delighted in taunting him to see how angry she could make him become. "You flooded a village, and that's supposed to be impressive," she would sneer. "Try collapsing a continent, and maybe you'll get a little attention." Vernacus could become pretty angry. He didn't come very close to collapsing the continent of Tamriel, but it wasn't for lack of trying. A hero was needed to face the mad Daedra, and fortunately one was available. His name was Borlor, and it was said that he had been blessed by the goddess Kinnereth. That was the only explanation for his inhuman accuracy with his bow and arrow, for he never missed a target. As a child, he had driven his marksmanship tutors wild with frustration, They would tell him how to plant his feet, how to knock a bolt, the proper grip for the cord, the best method of release. He ignored all the rules, and somehow, every time, the arrow would catch a breath of wind and sail directly to his target. It did not matter if the quarry was moving or still, at a very close range or miles away. Whatever he wanted to strike with his arrow would be struck. Borlor answered the call when one of the village mayors begged him for help. Unfortunately, he was not as great of a horseman as he was an archer. As he rode through the forest toward the mayor's town, a place called Evensken, Vernacus was already murdering everyone there. Horvatha watched and stifled back a yawn. Murdering a small-town mayor isn't going to put you in famous company, you know. What you need is a great champion to defeat, someone like Ysgramor or Pelinal Whitestrake, or... She stared at the figure emerging from the forest. That fellow! Who's he? Growled Vernacus between bites of the mayor's quivering body. The greatest archer in Tamriel. He's never missed. Borlor had his bow strung and was pointing it at the Daedra. For a moment, Vernacus felt like laughing. The fellow was not even aiming straight, but he had a well-honed sense of self-preservation. There was something about this man's look of confidence that convinced the Daedra that Horvatha wasn't lying. As the bolt left the bow, Vernacus vanished in a sheet of flame. The arrow impaled a tree. Borlor stood and stared. He had missed a target. In Oblivion, Vernacus raged, fleeing before a mortal man like that. Not even the basest scamp would have been so craven.
Excuse me.
He had exposed himself for the weak, cowardly creature he was. As he considered what steps to take to salvage the situation, he found himself face to knee with the most fearsome of Daedra princes, Molag Bal. Ever thought anything much of you, Vernacus, the giant boomed, but you have more than proven your worth. You've shown the creatures of Mundus that the Daedra are more powerful than the blessings of the gods. The other denizens of Oblivion quickly agreed, as they always did, with the view of Molag Bal. The Daedra are, after all, always very sensitive about their various defeats at the hands of mortal champions. Vernacus was proclaimed the elusive beast, the unpursuable one, the one who cannot be touched, the bane of Kinnereth. Shrines devoted to him began to be built in remote corners of Morrowind and Skyrim. Borlor, meanwhile, now found flawed, was never again called to rescue a village. He was so heartbroken over his failure to strike his target that he became a hermit and never restrung his bow again. Some months later, he died, unmourned and unremembered. "This is really a tale you thought would cheer me?" asked Hallgerd incredulously. "I've heard the King of Worms told more inspirational stories." "Wait," said Zaumera. "I'm not finished yet." For a year's time, Vernacus was content to watch his legend grow and his fledgling worship spread from his home in Oblivion. He was, in addition to being cowardly and inclined towards murderous rages, also a very lazy creature. His worshippers told tale of their master avoiding the bolts of 1,000 archers, of moving through oceans without getting wet, of other feats of avoidance that he would rather not have to demonstrate in person. The real story of his ignominious retreat from Borlor was thankfully forgotten. The bad news, when it came, was delivered to him with some relish by Horvatha. He had delighted in her jealousy at his growing reputation, so it was with a cruel smile that she told him, "Your shrines are being assaulted." "Who dares?" he roared. "Everyone who passes them in the wilderness feels the need to throw a stone," Horvatha purred. "You can hardly blame them. After all, they represent he who cannot be touched. How could anybody expect to resist such a target?" Vernacus peered through the veil into the word of Mundus and saw that it was true. One of his shrines in Colovian West country was surrounded by a large platoon of mercenary soldiers who delighted in pelting it with rocks. His worshippers huddled inside, praying for a miracle. In an instant, he appeared before the mercenaries, and his rage was terrifying to behold. They fled into the woods before he even had a chance to murder one of them. His worshippers threw open the wooden door to the shrine and dropped to their knees in joy and fear. His anger melted, then a stone struck him, then another. He turned to face his assailants, but the air was suddenly filled with rocks. Vernacus could not see them, but he heard the mercenaries in the woods laugh. "It's not even trying to move out of the way." "It's impossible not to hit him," guffawed another. With a roar of humiliation, the Daedra bounded into the shrine, chased by the onslaught. One of the stones knocked the door closed behind him, striking him in the back. His face broke, anger and embarrassment disappearing, replaced by pain. He turned shaking to his worshippers who huddled in the shadows of the shrine, their faith shattered. "Where did you get the wood to build this shrine?" Vernacus groaned. "Mostly from a copse of trees near the village of Evanscon." His high priest shrugged. Vernacus nodded. He dropped forward, revealing the deep wound in his back. A rusted arrowhead buried in a whorl in the wood of the door had jolted loose in the assault and impaled him. The Daedra vanished in a whirlwind of dust. The shrines were abandoned shortly thereafter, though Vernacus did have a brief resurgence of the patron spirit of limitations and impotence before fading from memory altogether. The legend of Borlor himself never became very well known either, but there are still some who tell the tale, like myself. And we have the advantage of knowing that the great archer himself didn't know on his deathbed that his final arrow found its target after all.
I'm listening.
What's new with you?
I saw a mother and a couple of things that you could well look at the muscles on you.
Turns out it's just a day trip to Coral.
Yes.
It's 2 in the afternoon. It's entirely possible they're not done still. suppose in the worst case, I can just take a trip back to the merchant district and sell off some of the stuff I picked up.
Hail, good sir. Hail, good citizen. How can I be of service?
Hello. Good afternoon. They say that when you leave us, the
Welcome to the Chironasium. Can I help you?
How's the staff coming along?
I'm working on it. It'll be done soon.
Speak.
I actually don't remember the timeline that they said, so I might just want to go off and quest again.
How are you?
It's you, the hero.
Hi there.
Not very good at navigating the Imperial City, apparently.
Good to see you.
It's my pleasure. Please continue.
Actually, give me a second first.
You too. A pleasure to speak with you. Perhaps you need new armor, a weapon. I have a large selection of both. That's a fair deal. Tell your friends about me. Farewell.
Let's take a second here and see if there's any other sales I can make.
I'm Amantius Electus, the writer. I'm working on a new edition of Lives of the Saints.
What do you think of the Imperial City?
I'm here in the city for access to the temple libraries and for the bookstores, especially the first edition in the market district. You too.
Any friend of the Society is a friend of mine. Have a look around. You never know when you might need a good, strong potion. Best to stock up now while you can.
Okay, so apparently I've been carrying around... Wait a minute, have I really been... Well, that's embarrassing.
Any friend of the... I have potions and everything you need to make your own. What will it be? A fine bargain for you. An excellent deal. A fine bargain for you. A bargain at any price. Come back and...
Alright, let's see what we can get done here.
Be seeing you.
Ah! Alright, well, I guess I know why some of those weren't used before. make one last effort at the library, and if not, we'll go out adventuring.
It's you. A hero. You have my... It's you. A hero of Gavat. You have my ear, citizen. Hello, guildmate.
So again, I don't have high hopes, but we'll give him a shot.
Welcome to the Chironasium. Can I help you?
Staff.
I'm working on it. It'll be done soon. Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna try something slightly insane. Oh, I wasn't planning on reading that, but...
Timeline Series, Volume 1, Before the Ages of Man, by Angatar of Shimarine. Before man came to rule Tamriel, and before the chronicles of the historians recorded the affairs of the rulers of Tamriel, the events of our world are known only through myths and legends, and through the divinely inspired teachings of the 9 divines. For convenience, historians divide the distant ages of prehistory into 2 broad periods of time, the Dawn Era and the Merithic Era. The Dawn Era. The Dawn Era is that period before the beginning of mortal time, when the feats of gods take place. The Dawn Era ends with the exodus of the gods and magic from the world at the founding of the Adamantine Tower. The term Merithic comes from the Nordic, literally the era of elves. The Merithic Era is a prehistoric time after the exodus of the gods and magic from the world and the founding of the Adamantine Tower, and before the arrival of Ysgramor, the Nord, and Tamriel. The following are the most notable events of the Dawn Era, presented roughly in sequence as it must be understood by creatures of time such as ourselves. The cosmos formed from the Orbis, chaos or totality, by Anu and Padme. Akatosh, Auriel, formed and time began. The gods, Edada, formed. Lorcan convinced or tricked the gods into creating the mortal plane, Nirn. The mortal plane was at this point highly magical and dangerous. As the gods walked, the physical makeup of the mortal plane and even the timeless continuity of existence itself became unstable. When Magic, Magnus, architect of the plans for the mortal world, decided to terminate the project, the gods convened at the Adamantine Tower, a Jereni Tower, the oldest known structure in Tamriel, and decided what to do. Most left when Magic did. Others sacrificed themselves into other forms that they might stay, the Elnofey. Lorcan was condemned by the gods to exile in the mortal realms, and his heart was torn out and cast from the tower. Where it landed, a volcano formed. With magic in the mythic sense gone, the cosmos stabilized. Elven history, finally linear, began ME 2500. The Merithic Era. The Merithic Era was figured by early Nord scholars as a series of years numbered in reverse order backward from the beginning of time, the founding of the Cameron dynasty, recorded as the year 0 of the First Era. The Prehistoric events of the Merithic era are listed here with their traditional Nordic Merithic dates. The earliest Merithic date cited by King Harold's scholars was ME 2500, the Nordic reckoning of the first year of time. As such, the Merithic era extends from ME 2500 in the distant past to ME 1, the year before the founding of the Cameron dynasty and the establishment of the White Gold Tower as an independent city-state. According to King Harold's bards, ME 2500 was the date of construction of the Adamantine Tower on Belfiria Island in High Rock, the oldest known structure of Tamriel. This corresponds roughly to the earliest historical dates given in various unpublished Elvish chronicles. During the early Merithic era, the Aboriginal beast peoples of Tamriel, the ancestors of the Khajiit, Argonian, Orcish, and other beast folk, lived in pre-literate communities throughout Tamriel. In the Middle Merithic era, the Aldmeri, mortals of elfin origin, refugees left their doomed and now lost continent of Eldmeris, also known as Old Elnefey, and settled in southwestern Tamriel. The first colonies were distributed at wide intervals on islands along the entire coast of Tamriel. Later inland settlements were founded primarily in fertile lowlands in the southwestern and central Tamriel. Wherever the beast folk encountered the elves, the sophisticated, literate, technologically advanced Aldmeri cultures displaced the primitive beast folk into the jungles, marshes, mountains, and wastelands. The Adamantine Tower was rediscovered and captured by the Dureni, a prominent and powerful Aldmeri clan. The Crystal Tower was built on Somerset Isle, and later the White Gold Tower in Cyrodiil. During the Middle Merithic era, Aldmeri explorers mapped the coasts of Vardenfell, building the first era High Elven wizard towers at Ald Rednina, Balfell, Tellarun, and Telmora in Morrowind. It was also during this period that the Islid, wild elven settlements, flourished in the jungles surrounding the White Gold Tower, present-day Cyrodiil. Wild elves, also known as the Heartland High Elves, preserved the Dawn-era magics and language of Elnofey. Ostensibly a tribute land to the High King of Alinor, the Heartland's long lines of communication from Somerset Isle's sovereignty effectively isolated Cyrodiil from the High Kings of the Crystal Tower. The late Middle Merithic era is the period of the High Velothi culture. The Chimer, ancestors of the modern Dunmer, or Dark Elves, were dynamic, ambitious, long-lived elven clans devoted to fundamentalist ancestor worship. The Chimer clans followed the prophet Veloth out of the ancestral elven homelands in the southwest to settle in the lands now known as Morrowind. Despising the secular culture and profane practices of the Dwemer, the Chimer also coveted the lands and resources of the Dwemer, and for centuries provoked them with minor raids and territorial disputes. The Dwemer, dwarves, free-thinking, reclusive elven clans devoted to the secrets of science, engineering, and alchemy, established underground cities and communities in the mountain range, later the Velothi Mountains, separating modern Skyrim and Morrowind. The late Merithic era marks a precipitous decline of Velothi culture. Some Velothi settled in villages near the declining and abandoned ancient Velothi towers. During this period, Velothi high culture disappeared on Vardenfell Island. The earliest Dwemer freehold colonies date from this period. Degenerate Velothi devolved into tribal cultures which, in time, evolved into the modern Great Houses of Morrowind, or persisted as barbarian Ashlander tribes. The only surviving traces of this tribal culture are scattered Velothi towers and Ashlander nomads on Vardenfell Island. The original first-era High Elven wizard towers along the coast of Tamriel were also abandoned about this time. It was in the late Merithic era the pre-literate humans, the so-called Nedic peoples from the continent of Atmora, also Altmora, or the Elder Wood in Aldmeris, migrated and settled in northern Tamriel. The Nord culture hero Ysgramor, leader of the great colonizing fleet to Tamriel, is credited with developing a runic transcription of Nord speech based on Elvish principles, and so Ysgramor is considered the first human historian. Ysgramor's fleet landed at Hasric Head at the extreme northern tip of Skyrim's Broken Cape. The Nords built there the legendary city of Sarthal. The elves drove the men away during the Night of Tears, but Ysgramor soon returned with his 500 companions. Also during the late Merithic era, the legendary immortal hero, warrior, sorcerer, and king previously known as Pelinal Whitestrake, Harald Harrybreeks, Ysmer, Hans the Fox, etc., wandered Tamriel, gathering armies, conquering lands, ruling, and then abandoning his kingdoms to wander again.
Cool.
Well met, guildmate.
What is it, Sid?
Hail.
You have my ear.
I think this is, yeah, I gotta go one more over.
Get your black horse courier here. You sorry? Only one?
Again, sorry for the quietness. I'm still feeling a little off.
Afternoon.
So yeah, it's out of the way, but I should probably turn in the Thieves Guild mission just so I can be done with it.
Finally. Be able to retire. Guess that spell doesn't do me much good if I don't use it.
not gonna go out of my way to find fights, but I figure I can at least, you know, get a few items to sell as I travel between locations. Just don't want to double check it's Bravo that I'm... Yep. Business. I guess I messed up if I didn't have a soul available for Minotaur. I was too busy repairing, I forgot to charge Goldbrand. I heard some talking around this area, but common's not that exciting. was hoping it might be, I don't know, a heavier enemy. Stop! Oh, you dick. Ah! Might be able to sell those others, but I think it's a little less likely. Mind you, selling them. So the funny thing is, if I'm gonna be going somewhere, if I'm gonna be going somewhere, I can sell them. Even just taking them and selling them for less than what they're worth is still a profit for me. I just don't like doing it. Flooding the market with high-quality weaponry.
Greetings.
Well met.
Well met.
What's the latest? Something strange is going on with Ardeline and Varen Vamori. I always see him hanging around her. I've noticed the same thing. I wonder what's going on. Vella.
What can a humble Doyen do for a sly thief?
Oh, there's so much. Let's start with rumors.
I heard Ita Reyna's talking about the geography of Tamriel again. She's very knowledgeable.
Alright, let's talk about Hieronymus Lex first.
Hieronymus Lex has left the waterfront? Well done. Methradel's report tells me that you have done well. You have earned your reward. I am promoting you to Cat Burglar, which means you can use Luciana Galena of Breville as your fence. Congratulations on your new rank.
Tell me more about Breville.
Breville perhaps presents little scope for an ambitious member of our guild. Perhaps you may find the castle entertaining. Little else.
Any other special jobs?
I have need of a very special book, The Lost Histories of Tamriel. The cat burglar Theranos was sent hunting in Skingrad for this book. However, Theranos has not been seen since. The Grey Fox himself hunts for this book. I need you to find Theranos. Help Theranos bring back this book. If Theranos is unwilling or unable, bring back the book yourself. Are you agreeable?
Sounds interesting. I'll do it.
That is good. Go to Skingrad. The trail starts there.
Any other jobs?
Doesn't the hunter have prey to follow? Shadow hide the hunter.
I don't think I have anything stolen to sell at the moment, so... So it looks like all roads go to Skingrad at this point.
Independent thievery. I've reached my goal. I've fenced over 400 gold worth of goods. I should go see Skriva sometime. She might have something for me.
Hello.
Yeah, we'll go to Skingrad. Don't you touch my horse. Oh, come on. All right. So here's the deal. I am still not feeling a whole lot better, but I do want to make this as close to a full-length episode as I can. So I need just some kind of a break, though. So I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna refill my water and my tea, and I don't know. I'll try and take something to just try and make myself feel better. So, I will try and make it short, but I do need to get up from the keys again. So, sorry about that. I'll be back as soon as I can. Still don't feel 100%, but let's make the best of it.
Greetings.
What's this about?
I suppose one bonus is the roof of my mouth doesn't feel as scorched as it was about 90 minutes ago. It's very smooth, but
Well met, traveler. Have you heard the call of the prophet? Do you walk the pilgrim's way?
yes, I seek the 9-way shrines.
As do I. Perhaps we can share the road, as long as our paths lie together.
Tell me more about the pilgrimage.
I have taken up the prophet's call to defend the faith. Only a true knight, wielding the Crusaders' relics, can stop the evil that now threatens us. I walk the pilgrim's way, as did the questing knights of old. I would be glad of your company on the road, if your way lies with mine.
Tell me more about the prophet.
You have heard him. Like me, you know he speaks the truth. If the 9 will it, I will be the one to recover the Crusaders' relics. Or perhaps that honor will fall to you.
I'm pretty sure it'll fall to me.
The blessings of the 9 upon your quest. Perhaps our paths will cross again.
I'd sort of like to follow them, but I'm not sure what that will do. Given that that's most likely DLC, I'd sort of like to try and go through the rest of the stuff first. Should probably take the time to save just in case. I don't remember if I visited that or not.
Marked by a special fate, you rule your destiny. Do you choose to steer by the stars of the tower?
Good question. Not for now. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me take a minute and see if the manual mentions the Doomstones. Okay, we've got introduction, main menu, game screen, controls. Isn't there an index on the here we go. Not really. Okay, sorry. Feels like there's everything else in here. So if it is, I'm not willing to read it all the way through. So I guess the question is, do I just want to like run with it, or yeah. Like, I don't know, I already have my birth son, right? So I would have thought I'd want to do the lady. I'll leave it till I know a little bit more. I mean, I could probably check the wiki too, but I try to avoid. And I get a chance to play this once.
A pleasure to speak with you.
Like, sorry, to play this without knowing once. Any rumors?
Hey, you're the one they call the hero of Kvatch, aren't you? The one that closed the Oblivion Gate and saved the city?
Yes, it is I. Sorry, I just noticed a quick message. Alright.
You too.
On to Skingrad. First thing I want to check is what my soul level is in that gem. Alright, I got another grand. Oh, come on. I wasn't sure if I had any spare soul gems, so now that I know I don't, I don't need to cast anymore. gosh, doing that. I don't really think I need a lot of these common. I'm really hoping this doesn't crash. I think my tea's ready, so I'm just going to take a second outside the gates. That's hot. So I may need to rest before I can do any of these tasks, but let's at least stop by the... No, actually...
Please be generous, kind sir.
Tell me what you know about Maglair.
No, him. He's been around. Mostly at the West Wheel, staring at the bottom of a flag in a veil.
And Theranos?
Here's what I know. Hieronymus was drinking at the Two Sisters Lodge. He was bragging about stealing something from the castle.
Unfortunately, Captain Dion was also in the Two Sisters Lodge. He arrested Hieronymus and hauled him off to the dungeons.
Which personality am I going to hear goodbye from?
Blessings of Hieronymus upon ye.
I discovered that Theranos was arrested. It seems that he was discovered in a tavern, drunk and bragging about stealing something from Castle Skingrad. The captain of Skingrad Guard overheard him and arrested him. I'm going to have to break into the dungeon if I want to speak with Theranos.
Well, it's good weather for it.
Visitors ain't allowed down here.
Is it like working in Castle Skingrad?
I heard that Shumgro Yarug is looking to hire. He's the butler for the Count. Go speak to him.
Who's Shumgro Yarug?
He doesn't leave Castle Skingrad often. At 10, he heads over to the Westfield Inn. Then at noon, he goes to the Colovian Trader.
I want to visit someone.
No visitors. Count's orders.
Seems that the butler, Shumgro Yarung, is hiring up at Castle Skingrad. Penetrating the castle would be much easier if I had that job.
I see.
I know when I want a job, if I can find somebody at 5 in the morning. And, oops. It's probably better I wait for the,
Ow!
see if I can find anything in the Westfield Wind, and otherwise I'll get some sleep in the Fighters Guild, and we'll try a little later in the day. That's not it. Could have sworn there was a way into the...
Looks like you're handy with a blade.
I could have sworn there was a different path, but... No, I'm probably just thinking of the wrong way because I'm looking at it from the different angle.
Yes.
We children are starved.
What is it, brother? They send you to find me?
Maybe. Tell me about yourself.
I'm Maglia. What do you want?
What have you heard?
Hey, you're the one they call the hero of Kvatch, aren't you? The one that closed the Oblivion Gate and saved the city?
Alright, let's talk about your job.
Defaulted? I suppose so. I'm not paid enough to do the job. I was supposed to find Brennus Astus's journal.
Alright, so what happened?
That was my job. They said it was in Fallen Rock Cave. You ever been in there? Didn't think so. I'm not going back. Not for that kind of money. If you care that much, you go find it. The contract's yours. It's not worth it for what the guild is paying. I've got a family to think about.
Alright, and what do you know about the castle?
You mean other than at the castle? He's around town at midday. Try the Colovian Trader and the Westweald Inn.
You mean this inn?
Whatever.
Alright.
Yeah?
This should give time for the traders to open up, and then we can talk about the job in the castle.
You've got...
It's my pleasure. Please continue. What can
Let's
I
make a
interest you
deal.
in? You got a great deal there. That's a fair deal. You drop... That's a fair deal. You drive. Thanks for your business. Bye.
I particularly hate it after deals, because you just have to do it all over again.
How are you?
I hope I can... let's do business. That's a good deal. A good pro... Tell your friends about me. Good day. What do you want?
I want a job.
I need someone to slot food to the prisoners. I'll pay you 2 gold a week, plus half a loaf of bread and a glass of mead each day. I'm having trouble hiring these days.
Can't imagine
so if you
why.
want the job, it's yours.
Sure, I'll take the job.
You will? I mean, good. Mind your manners in the castle. Stay out of Count Hasildur's quarters, and don't let me catch you in the wine cellar. The jail guards in the dungeon will unlock the cell block door if you ask them. Feed the prisoners once a day. I don't care when.
Hear any rumors?
Undena Orethi grows some good tomatoes. Yep, they sure are good tomatoes. Get back to work.
And because I'm feeling very silly. Oh, they're shockingly tolerant of this.
Somebody help! Come quickly! We've got a burglar! Out of the way, smart. Out of the way, smart.
I'm here.
Out of the way, slop drudge.
My glass armor is necessary for this job.
What do you want, slop drudge?
Just open the door.
They ought to just give you guys a key. But no, I gotta keep locking and unlocking the door for the slop drudges. Follow me. Are you here to rescue me?
No, you're a criminal.
You bastard! It's not like I killed her. I just roughed her up a bit. Nothing the healers can't fix.
Tell me about Tyrannus.
You mean the thief? He was in the big cell with that Argonian. They were always whispering to each other. The Pale Lady took him days ago.
Who's the Pale Lady?
Every few days, she comes for one of us. Some return, some don't. Those that are taken 3 times never return. This was Tyrannus' 3rd time.
Where'd you take them?
I don't know. She took the Argonian less than an hour ago, though. He put up quite a struggle. He was bleeding all over the place.
Tell me more about any rumors.
Hey, you're the one they call the hero of Kvatch, aren't you? The one that closed the Oblivion gate and saved the city? Don't let the guards catch you.
The only prisoner in Council Skingrad's jail is Larthjar. He told me the Pale Lady, whoever she is, took Tyrannus days ago. I didn't like the sound of that. There was an Argonian prisoner in the same cell as Tyrannus. Apparently, he was also taken by the Pale Lady just a couple of hours ago. The Argonian put up quite a struggle and was bleeding. It's the only clue I have right now. I'd better follow it.
Your presence here will not be tolerated. I will find the
We need to get to safety.
Tell me about yourself.
That would be me. I am so glad you are here to save me from the vampire. Those Cretan Skingrad guards caught me stealing a fish and locked me up. You have saved my life again. You are a true friend. I will not forget this. I've decided to join the Thieves Guild. No more jails for me.
And Theranis?
Theranis? How do you know about him? He was my cellmate. At least until the Pale Lady took him away.
Did he ever mention a book?
No, but he did give me a message about a treasure to deliver to the Thieves Guild if I was ever to get out. After the first time Theranis was taken by the Pale Lady, he knew he was going to die. Get me out of the castle, and I'll give you his message.
Tell me more about the lost histories of Tamriel.
If that's Theranis' treasure, I know where it is. But I'm not telling you anything until we're out of here. Get me out of the castle. As soon as we are out of sight of the castle's main gate, I'll tell you.
Who was the Pale Lady?
Filthy vampire. She took my cellmate Theranis a few days ago. If it hadn't been for you, I would have been next. Let's go.
Theranis is dead. I found his body in a secret chamber with Amusi and the Pale Lady.
Or I guess Amusai. So if I go through the prison, it's going to invite any number of questions.
Amusian escaped from Castle Skingrad. Let's see if he'll keep his word and tell me about the book.
Anything for my savior.
Thrice Savior. Tell me about the lost histories.
He told me to give this message to any member of the Thieves Guild that asked about him or a book. Look under the bush near the well behind the Restoral's house. I was going to take it for myself, but I owe you a great debt. You should take it. Safe journey.
So I think I know the well that they're talking about. Although it's already marked, so it's probably not that big of a deal.
In an earlier volume, I discussed the vagaries and influences of the Aedric prophecies, and more commonly known as the Elder Scrolls. Readers wanting to know the history behind the highly inappropriate appellation of Aedric can refer to chapters 23 through 27 of my previous work for a full explanation, as well as the incompetencies of my good comrade Theron of Mournhold, who named them thus. The influences of the archivally historic Elder Scrolls cannot be understated. Once a prophecy contained in an Elder Scroll is enacted in Tamriel, the text of the parchment becomes fixed. All readers ingest the same divine message. It becomes a historical document declaring the unequivocal truth of a past event. Scholars, even those as dim-witted as Theron of Mournhold, cannot argue the bias of the writer, like he has in my earlier works. Not even magic can affect the word written upon those ancient pages. I have the Lost Histories of Tamriel. Now all I have to do is return it to Scriva and Breville.
Alright, so let's see if we can work with Fallen Rock Cave.
Hello! Well met. Read any good books lately? I've been trying to get
So we might have actually gone to this cave already, if memory serves. It's a little hard because it's, there's obviously lots of different dungeons in this. There are some principles about horse murderers. So this would all be wonderful to carry. Well, might mean I have a full set ready to go back and okay. Should probably just try doing it normally, but... Ooh, this could get bad. This is not a well-considered approach. Something a little more involved around this time, I think. Let's take a second here to get this save in. Excuse me. Oh boy. The day is mine. Word's out with me on the bears. The grass does not make it easy to spot those. Okay, so apparently I haven't been to Fallen Rock Cave yet. I was wondering if the item would be inside there, and I'm like, what a wuss. Why did I do that?
Various studies of the fauna of Cyrodiil. Brennus Astus Scholar. Much of the journey has become unreadable. Cyrodiilic rat appears to be less aggressive than its counterpart in various other provinces. They are prevalent in all parts of Cyrodiil, equally at home in basement dwellings, caves, ruins, or grasslands. They are known to carry disease, and their bites can be painful. Illegible. Though once thought to be intelligent, they are social creatures, often appearing in groups numbering 20 or more. The largest male dominates this clan structure, and seems to have breeding rights with all females of reproductive age. Younger males will often challenge the older dominant males in a fight to the death. Their horns locked, the two minotaurs will wrestle until one can no longer continue. This often, called billies, but by many of the local farmers. But is this so-called land drow actually of any relation to the sea-dwelling drow? There certainly seem to be similarities in morphology, especially in the region and head and the thorax, and they produce the same wax found in the aquatic creatures. However, while true drow are known to be cunning, even intelligent, these land drow demonstrate none of the same intelligence. They are violent and aggressive, killing indiscriminately. Some believe them to be of Daedric origins, perhaps related to the spider Daedra. That, however, is not the opinion of this researcher. It appears more likely that the land drow are a distant relative of the true drow, perhaps an ancestor from far back on the evolutionary timeline. Missing. Much has been made of the fact that trolls can be killed only by application of fire, whether it be by spell or torch. This is in fact a myth. Trolls do not seem to have a weakness to fire and fire-based spells, and a fantastic ability to regenerate tissue, but they can be killed by conventional means. One should note, however, that trolls should absolutely not. The rest of the journal is unreadable.
So I thought I had to. Yeah.
I found Renus Astis' journal. I should either speak with Maglir or tell Mordrin Orin that the contract is now completed.
So if I can, I'll turn it in with the original guy. There's no reason. I mean, he's not exactly going to be helping the Fighters Guild, but there's no reason for me to be a jerk about it. You baby.
You're still around. I've told you why I defaulted on the contract. Not too much else to be said about it. Do what you must.
Have the journal.
You found it, huh? Good work, I guess. Well, take it back to Orin then. He can pay you on the contract. Tell him what you want about me.
I'll tell him you did your job.
Thanks. I'm not trying to shirk my duty, but it used to be 2 or 3 men would be on this. I like the guild, but I've got a family to consider. Whatever.
He was really selling me on the charm. Alright, let's see if we can turn in at Breville, and that'll be the, I think that'll be it for tonight. I'm trying to run as long as I can, but I'm definitely feeling, rather under the weather.
Your money or your life?
Take it from me if you can.
Easily done.
So, no more looting. I always get turned around by that. Better do the save just in case. So in most of these cases, I figure I can probably just run by I don't really have any benefit to looting those bodies. The reason why I've been a little bit more willing to take them on is the number of times I've potentially lost a horse to an enemy catching up to me is, well, it's enough to make me worried. It's my horse's head that's gone, apparently. Oh, it's back. I don't think I'd have it in me to do the full journey again, so...
Looks like you're handy with a blade.
You have found Tyrannus and the lost histories of Tamriel?
Well... But technically I found Tyrannus, but Tyrannus, no. The book, yes.
Tyrannus is dead? I grieve for him, but at least you have the book. The Grey Fox has sought this book for many years. You have earned the reward. Here is your payment.
Any other rumors?
Ura Vaso Thralis has a way with words. I wish she could teach me how to speak that well.
Alright, any other special jobs?
Hieronymus Lex must be eliminated once and for all. The Grey Fox has asked that you do this personally. It is a most delicate matter.
What's the plan?
Countess Umbranox of Anvil is hunting for a new captain of her guard. The Legion commander of the Imperial Watch sent her a list of candidates. The Grey Fox wants this list replaced with one that highly recommends Hieronymus Lex. From Anvil, he can do little harm to the guild.
Where's the letter?
The letter is currently in Steward Darahill's desk. She has lied to Lady Umbranox, telling her that the letter has yet to arrive.
Why not just kill Lex?
We are thieves, not murderers. That is the province of the Dark Brotherhood. For reasons unknown to this one, the Grey Fox has extended his protection to the Umbranox family, and Lady Umbranox in particular. While Lex is a problem for the guild, his unwavering loyalty and resolve make him the perfect protector for Lady Umbernox.
How do I forge the letter?
You will have to track down one on your own. I don't know of any in Breville. With the forged letter in hand, sneak into the Legion commander's office in the Imperial City prison and seal it with his seal. Cyrodiil cannot be trusted. You must deliver the letter to Lady Umbernox in person. Will you accept this commission?
It shall be done.
That is good. Remember, this is a mission of stealth, not blood. Your payment will be higher than normal to cover the expense of the forgery. Shadow hide the hut.
I've reached my goal. I fenced over 500 gold worth of goods. I should go see Scriva sometime. She might have something for me.
Alright, and on that note, I'm sorry I was not at 100% today, but I think we'll end it there. I am going to get some rest. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next week.